getting ready to take our test. We're getting there. Our test is in a couple days here. And I thought we would start off with something just a little bit, kind of to review just a little bit. So in front of you guys have this half sheet of paper. Your half sheet of paper is right here, and we're going to take a look at it. We're trying to solve for angles, and we don't necessarily have to do it in this order. It's not necessarily has to be alphabetical, but this is where we're at. And what I'd like you to look at is I'd like you to try this. Try this first one on your own. See if you can find these 5 angles. And we'll try to figure out some reason why the angle is what it is. Okay? Like if you're going to say triangle sum or exterior angle something or another, that'd be fine. That's what we're going to look at. Why don't you guys take just a couple minutes, see if I'm going to give you a head start, then we're going to talk about it as a group. Okay? So get started on your own. You ready to take your quiz right now? You ready to take your quiz right now? Lauren, are you ready to take your quiz right now? Actually, I need you guys to probably do it this class. That's why I'm going to ask them. Nick, are you ready to take your quiz right now? Sure. Okay. Nick, why don't you go next door? Two of you guys, if you want to study for a second, that's fine, but we're basically going to go over this whole thing today, so I just need you guys to kind of think.
I'll just take that.
Okay. Why don't you go next door? 3 of you guys, just shoot for today. If you need a calculator, grab a calculator. If you don't, it's fine. All right. Brett, which one do you want to solve for? Yep. Solve for A. That does not look like the easiest one to solve for right away. Let's solve for B. How do we solve for B, Brett?
Don't take 180 and
I need an equation. Give me an equation here. It's going to involve B, so I'm going to write B down.
is it A or B plus A?
Nope. Let's start with B and some other angle next to B. Excellent. What'd you say, Katie? Yes, plus 133. What does that have to equal?
180.
That's equal 180. Why does that have to equal 180? Because they're a linear pair, correct? Just pretty much. Okay, they're a linear pair. They're right next to each other. So what does B have to equal when we subtract 133? 47. So B equals 47. Sounds good to me. So we solve for B equals 47. I'm also going to label that on the graph here, so I can see what's going on. That looks pretty good to me. All right, all right. What else can we do? Do you have any other ideas? What do you got? Okay, what's E going to be?
47.
47. Why? I think these two are vertical angles. But I think E's at the top there. That's a good idea, though. Anybody have? Here. Well, anybody have anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Solve for B.
Okay. How do we solve for D? There might be more than one step here. Do we know this angle down here?
No.
Can we
Oh,
figure it out?
wait, yeah, but, yeah, that's okay. Okay, so you solve that, because it's a...
Because those two are a linear pair, so they're going to be supplementary angles. Just add those two up, and you should get 180. And then what's going on here with D?
You add 47 plus 40 plus D.
Okay. So it give us 87 plus D equals 180. So D would equal, is that 93? 93 degrees, something like that right here. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so we have D. Okay, now what? Carrington?
I solve for A.
You solve for A. How'd you solve for A?
Well, if you look at the big triangle, you do the 7.
So let me draw this up here so everybody can see this. Okay, so there's a big triangle right up there. How do you solve for A?
I did 71
Sounds good to me because there's a triangle sum there. To give us 111 plus A equals 180. So what does A equal? 69 degrees. Okay, let me write that on here. 69 degrees. Okay. Let's solve for C next. Think about how you can solve for C. How can you solve for C? Is there anything that we've learned? How do you solve for C? Anything that we've learned so far? Yeah.
But if you find, you get the other degrees for that triangle.
So you're saying this guy down here?
Yeah, and then you do it like that because it will equal 180.
That's a good idea. We can do it even easier than that, though. Let me draw this. You're right, that would work. So what does that mean?
Those at the top will equal angles.
Yeah, that's the 1 plus 2 equals 4 thing, right? So this is triangle exterior. So basically we're just going to take this angle plus this angle, and it's going to equal C out here. So C equals 69, sorry, plus 47. So what does it equal? 116 is what you said? 116. So C equals 116. I'll write that down here. What do we have left? We have E. Okay. How are we going to solve for E? This will be a little complicated. Don't give up. What do you think? Where? Sorry. Right.
In triangle E.
What here? No, triangle E. This is 47. Okay, I agree with that. That's 47. Is there any way we can find that angle? How do you know that? Okay, so he's saying we got to figure this one out. These two are vertical angles, so that's 93. Okay, and what does that give us? So that means this angle 47. So that means this one here is also 47. Okay, so we have 47 plus 47 plus E equals 180, right? Okay. So let's see, that's 80, 94 plus E equals 180. So what does that make it? 86 degrees. Sounds good to me. So that's 86 degrees right there. Wow. So you sometimes have to find a couple other things before you can find the angle you're actually looking for. Let me write all these down. So this is 86 right here. Let's see, what was D? 93, so I'll put that there. C? 116. And A? 69 degrees. Okay. If it ever gives you blanks like this, I think it's a good idea to write them in the blanks. That's just as we have right now. Alright, let's try the second one. Second one looks like there's a lot more letters on here. And sometimes we have to find some other things along the way. Let me give you about 1 minute just to have a head start before we talk about this as a group. Why don't you try finding some angle on there and try to find at least one in the next minute that I'm going to give you. Try to find at least one angle. I'm passing out your quizzes right now. Don't look at them now. We're going to talk about them in just a little while. As soon as we're done with this puzzle, we're going to take a look at these. So you don't need to look at them yet. We will we'll talk about them soon. Keep working, doing the best you can do. And you don't need to look at your quizzes now, just keep working on this part. All you've already seen these grades online, so it shouldn't be any big deal right now anyway. Okay, here's this picture in front of us. What letter would you like to solve for first? Just raise your hand. Lachey, what do you want to solve for first? M. Okay, what's M going to be? 30 degrees. How'd you know? Yeah, so basically you said 60 plus 90 plus M has to equal 180. So we have 150 plus M equals 180. So M equals 30 degrees. I totally agree with that. Let me label it on here. Let me also label it on here. So what else is 30 degrees? There's angle underneath. And we may or may not, so I'm going to label it. We're going to find out. Brett, what do you want to do?
N.
N. Where is N at? Oh, N's right here? Okay. How do you find N?
Take 180. Take the very left triangle and it's 90 plus 40.
Okay, so that would make this a 50-degree angle right here, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what's N?
50 since
And
it's vertical.
N's also a 50-degree angle, and that's by vertical angles. Okay, so basically he did a triangle sum theorem to find this first angle over here inside the triangle, and then it was vertical angles at the end. Sounds good to me. So we have M and we have N. What do you guys want to do next? You want to find P? Okay, do you guys find something else first, maybe?
T.
We're going to look at P. How do you want to find P? Is that you, Hannah?
Yeah, but I don't remember how I found it.
Did you find this angle right here first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got 68.
68 because those two have to be linear pairs. So that's small. Wow, that's really small. That small one right there's 68. And then you can find this one that's a vertical angle with P. What would that become?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, actually, then you just add these two together, right?
Yeah.
So that's
And
the
then
exterior.
subtract.
That's not exactly right. I guess you have to add these two together, subtract it from 180 because it's a triangle sum. What does that give you?
I got 83.
I think it's, yeah, 82 sounds okay. I'll go with 82. Okay, so that's 82. So then P also has to be 82, right, because they're vertical angles. Okay, good job. 82 degrees. Justin, which one do you want to find? Justin, what do you want to find? So we have M, N, and P. What do you want to find, Justin? Q, okay. So here's a triangle with Q. No, this angle P here is 82. Can we figure out this angle down here? Right there? Yeah, what is that? Why?
Because it's vertical.
Yeah, it's vertical from the other 70. Okay, so we have 70 and 82. That sounds like 152. So what does Q have to be? Yeah, so Q is going to equal 28 degrees. Sounds good to me. Well, it's 48. What's next, guys?
T.
T? Tyler, how do we find T?
It's in the nth square you get 50 and you get 68.
So this guy here is 68 is what you're saying because these two are vertical.
And then you add those together.
Yep, so we have the triangle exterior. So 50 plus 68 will give us T, which is
62 or 118.
118. So that's T is 118 by adding this guy and this guy together. This is getting kind of a mess. I'm saying 118 on here. Wish this picture was bigger, right? Right? What else do we have? R. Are you going to tell me what it is? How do we figure it out?
I thought you were trying to see like each other separate.
R, U, and S. I don't. Where's S at? Oh, there it is. It's right there. Okay. It's a little difficult, isn't it? Ty's just giving up. Ty's giving up. Giving up. Well, let's just try to figure out things we do know how to find. This is 118. What does this angle right here have to be? Has to be 62. I don't know if that's going to help us right now, but let's figure it out. Let's see. This is 90 and U. That's not going to really help us yet. This would also be equivalent to R. I don't know if that helps us any. Let's see. That's 70. This is going to be the same as S right there. So we have R and S, and that doesn't really help us a whole lot. You guys got anything else? You know these lines are parallel, right? We don't know if they are parallel. If they're parallel, we could kind of use some other properties. But I don't know. If we could figure out this angle, we could figure out those. Doesn't help a whole lot, though. I don't think if we could use any exterior business to figure things out. Do we have anything else? Do you want to give up?
No.
Most people said yes. We're going to come back to this. All right. Your quizzes are in front of you. Your quizzes are in front of you. Take a look at them. If you got 2 stars at the top, you got a 90% or higher. If you got 1 star at the top, you got somewhere between 80% and 90%. If you have no stars, you had a C, D, or F on your quiz. So that's where we're at. I wanted to go over this question by question because I want to make sure that you guys understand this. We're not going to retake it or anything else. But I do think that this could be something that's on your test on Wednesday. All this stuff, since this is just a quiz, could definitely be on your test on Wednesday, so be ready for it. We solved number 1 by just saying 125 plus 20 plus x equals 180. I do want you guys to show all your work for this stuff. That'd be 145 plus x equals 180. Subtract 145 from both sides, and what do we get? X equals 35 degrees. Okay? Why is that? What's the reason for this? Triangle sum theorem. Okay? So triangle sum is the reason that we have this. Part 2, number 2, all 3 of those angles are on the inside of the triangle, so we're going to use triangle sum again. And so we just add all 3 of these angles up, which I think you guys are getting much better at, equals 180. So be 5x plus 55 equals 180. We'll subtract 55 from both sides. That's not 5. I don't know what that is. So we have 5x equals what? 125. Divide both sides by 5. And x equals 25. Okay? That's not your answer. Okay? It says find x, which is one answer. It says then label the picture with the measure of each angle. Technically up here we should have said this is, 35. Up here, what's 2 times 25? 50, so we need to label that as 50. What's 3 times 25? 75. So this is where 3 points, 25, 50, and 75. You need all 3 in order to get 3 points. Does that make sense here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. A little reluctant, but that's okay. Find the value of the variable, then label the picture with the measure of each angle. So if this is 70 and 88, we have an exterior angle here. So those two added together should give you y. So that'll just be 158 equals y. Label it 258 degrees. Okay. The second one, same concept. We just have x plus 80 has to equal this exterior angle, which looks like that. We'll subtract x from both sides, and we'll get 2x minus 22. We'll add 22 to both sides, and we have 102 equals 2x. At this point, x equals 51. Okay, so we found the value of the variable. Awesome. Are we done yet? No. Then you need to go and say, hey, this angle up here, this is 51 degrees. And then you also have to put it in here. So 51 times 3 is 153. Minus 42 would be, let's see, 131. So you need to also label that as 131 degrees. Okay. Again, probably worth 3 points. One to find the x, and then one each for actually find those 2 other angles. Does that make sense? Does it say in the directions? I think it says it, and I think that was one thing that people just fell down on, is that they didn't actually read the directions for it. So that was kind of tough. Up here, found the missing values. If this is an isosceles triangle, what do we know about these 2 angles here at the bottom? Okay. Those 2 are going to be congruent. Did you say parallel?
Did I?
Yeah. Oh, it sounded like you said they're parallel. It's like, oh. So if you have these 2 are 58, you could say 58 plus 58 plus the measure of angle t. That has to equal 180. That gives us a 116 plus the measure of angle t. Subtract 116 from both sides, and the measure of angle t equals, let's see, 64. So we'd have 64 over here and 58 over here. Some people accidentally just like mix these 2 around. That's not good. Just make sure that you're doing what you need to do. Okay. Next one. Since these 2 are marked as the same, we can label this as y plus 5 as well. It tells us that our perimeter is 40, so we'll say y plus 5 plus y plus 5 plus y has to equal 40, and we would basically just solve for y. How many y's are there? 3, so we'd say 3y plus 10 equals 40. That means 3y equals 30, or y equals 10. Is that my answer? Well, it's kind of one of them. Y equals 10 goes up there. How long is the measure of RS? Well, that's just y, so this would also be 10. And QS, which is over here, is going to be the 10 plus 5 is 15. I don't know if I made that worth 3 or 4 points, but probably if it was 1, this is probably 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe something like that. Actually show some work on it and to find each of those 3 answers. Probably worth 4 points, I would imagine. Does anyone have any questions on that first page? Is that the whole first page? Okay, turn over to the next page. Is it possible to draw a triangle with a given side measurement? Explain why or why not. All we talked about is you always have your 2 smaller ones. So we're going to add those 2 up. And that needs to be greater than the next one. So if we add these 2 up, this is actually 25.6. Is 25.6 greater than 14.15? Yes, so my answer is yes. My y is included right here. I showed, hey, this guy plus this guy has to be greater than this guy. And then I simplified it, and I showed that it was. So the answer is yes. Okay, the next one works the same way. The 2 smaller ones added together has to be greater than the next one. So we just say 1/2 plus 3/4. Is that greater than 1 1/2? Well, let's get common denominators. This would be 2/4. This is 3/4. If this would be what, 3/2, which is 6/4. This is 5/4. and it's not greater than 6/4. So the answer is no. Anyone have any questions on those two? I want to help you out if you don't understand it. Okay. The next ones, the measure of two sides of the triangle are 18 and 10. Find the range. Well, here's all we really need to do. In order to get the smaller one, we just subtract them, so that'd be 8. In order to get the bigger one, we just add them together, which is 28. So your angle, the third side, has to be less than 28. It has to be greater than 8. So it has to be more than 8 or less than 28. So that's where we're at on that one. Hey.
Should we write them in order?
Oh, if you're done, yeah, that's fine. The next one, we're just going to do the exact same thing. So this will be 12.5 plus 13.5. This is 13.7. Now it's 12.5. Give us these answers. This will give us 1.2. And what is this? 26.2, like so. So it has to be less than 26.2 and but more than 1.2. So just add them and subtract them. Next, we're looking at this 11 and 12. We can actually solve for this x. What would you get when you solve for that x? 73. So this is 73. Read the directions carefully. What is the shortest? Let's talk about this. What's the largest angle? You can either say the largest angle is C, or you could say it's 73. Either one of those is fine. Okay. When you're talking about the shortest side has to be across from the shortest angle. So that would have to be CB. Okay. And generally speaking, you should write that over there to represent CB. Okay. Sides are talked about with two measures unless it's already labeled by some other letter. Okay. Same thing over here. Largest angle. I would probably say this is angle E. Angle E. Or you could say it's 110. Either way that you said that should be fine. And the shortest side is always across from the smallest angle here. So that'd be EF with a line up on top. Does that make sense? Okay. Last two questions. Here they are. Lauren, Nick, can you bring those two up to me? Find X and Y. Find X and Y, here's where we're at. Y is probably the easier of the two to find, so we'd say Y plus 39 plus 90 has to equal 180. We're just using the triangle sum theorem. This would be, 129. So Y plus 129 equals 180. So Y would equal 60, 51. Okay. If this is 51 right here, this is 50, we could say 50, I'm sorry. Yeah, so the exterior angles here is right here. We could say 50 plus 51, so that's the stuff on the outside, has to equal to x plus 56. So we're basically saying this plus this equals this angle on the outside, which is actually these two angles added together, 50 and 51. So x plus 56 equals 101. Does that make sense? You could probably find this angle first and then use triangle sum. You just say this angle plus 50 plus 51 equals 180. Solve for this one angle. And then you could use triangle sum for it. It would work out just fine. It should be like one step shorter is all it really is. This would be x equals 45. So we have x, we have y. We should be good. Okay. Last things up here. Find the angle measure. Well, it gives us three angles, so that means that x plus 15 plus 35 plus another x has to equal 180. When we solve for that, we would have actually 2x plus 35 equals 180. That would be 2x equals 145, or x equals 72.5. So this angle right here is 72.5. That one's 35, so this has to be, let's see, 190, let's see, 90, oh boy, 87, 0.5. Okay, so we find this. This is 87.5. This is 35. This is 72.5, like so.
X equals 60. That's fine. So then like angle A equal 80. That's what you put on my paper. That angle A too.
Yeah. I read that too. Me too.
2x plus 35 equals 180. I'll take a look at them.
It'd be
So it should be 87, shouldn't it? 87.5?
I got
90,
35.
160. Those add up to. That's too many. That's too many degrees. A, B, and C. It should be right. So we have 2x plus. Oh, I see what's going on. I see. I missed the 10. Hold on. I missed the 10. So that's not right. Okay. So this should be the 15 and the 35 add up to this. This is actually 2x plus, yeah, 50 equals 180. Thanks, that's better. That means that 2x would equal 130. That's a 1. X then equals 65. So that's 65. That would be 80. That adds up much better. Let's see.
Angle A is 80.
That's 80. So 80, 35, 65. Then it says at the bottom here, list the sides from greatest to least. So the greatest side, if angle B is the smallest angle, then AC should be the smallest. If, let's see, if A is the largest, then BC should be the longest. Then we just have to do the other one. Let's see, that'd be AB, like that. So that's greatest to largest based on the angles. Yes, sir.
Number 13. You have the triangle to the left. 56, 45, and 41.
56, 45, and
And 51.
no, 51's on the outside of the triangle. 51's
Yeah,
right
but
here.
isn't it?
51's right over here. I can't really see
It's
it.
not vertical angle.
They're not vertical angles. You're right. If you could please pass all your tests to what I want you guys to do is you guys have 6 questions for you guys to do. I call it pre-review. If you guys could send me those other answers out, show those to me tomorrow as well. We're just kind of running out of time. So I do want you guys to review these 6 questions for tomorrow. Just make sure that you guys are ready for your test coming up Wednesday. This was Shares and you guys are dismissed. Have a great day.